Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your dual dab of the day. Today is Tuesday. Hello, everybody. Well, I want to continue on a general topic, but I want to get very specific. I want to talk about pain and sleep. Pain and sleep. Well, I spent the better part of 45 years in the mattress industry, so I know a pretty good amount about sleep. But I'm not going to get into REM and I'm not going to get into different stages of sleep. What I'm going to get into is the difficulty of sleeping with pain. Let's talk about it. First of all, we all know the type of pain that makes it impossible to sleep. It's not a little twinge, it's not a little ache, and it's not a little bit of pain. When it gets to where you and I live, chronic intractable pain, that's where it becomes almost impossible to do what we used to do, which would be called sleep. So living in this situation for so many years, what I've done over the years is different approaches. I used to get stoned and medicate until I passed out, just passed out. I would actually pass out in the jacuzzi 20 years ago, and you'd see me waking up by sliding down and my nose would get wet from the water and I'd wake up. No kidding. 3 to 5 joints a night, just banging my head into the ground because I couldn't stop the pain. Well, then I moved to the sofa and the chair where I would fall asleep basically like this in a chair with a joint hanging out of my mouth. Multiple, 5, 6 joints, and maybe I would pass out after taking my narcotic medicine as well. Well, got to a point that wasn't able to be doing anymore. In other words, it gets to a point where you can't make yourself pass out, where the pain is so deep and so hard that you can't. A couple of the examples of that type of pain are when the pinched nerve is up, when the burning is past that level 9, level 8 level, when the TMJ gets to the point that the underlying muscle pain below your teeth just doesn't go away. These are the times where traditional methods don't work. What I mean by that, trying to go to sleep with all the prophylactic things you've done doesn't work. What can you do? Well, I go back to old school methods sometimes, and I tell you, sometimes they're the ones that aren't going to solve your problem, but it might be the best Band-Aid you've got. Let's talk about them. How about a heating pad? How about a heating pad right here, or on your belly, or under your spine? How about ice, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off? How about one of those crack packs, instant ice, keep it by the side of the bed, because you don't want to go downstairs in the middle of the night if you're in a great deal of pain. How about keeping by the side of your bed one of those instant heat packets called TheraCare, that you tear the package and it gets hot? You must find things to do that can be done quickly. The pain gets to a point that once it's there, once you've arrived at level 8 or 9, you might not be able to get out of it. You've got to hit the pain when it's level 4 and 5, 6 and 7, before it gets higher. And if you know you're going to be subject to these things, for example, I have an MRI that says potential impingement of nerve running through my hip. The clinail nerve is potentially impinged, which means I'll get a pinched nerve whenever it frickin' feels like it. Okay, what do you do about that so you don't go off the deep end? Well, that takes a different approach. You've got to actually get ahead of that. And unfortunately, that's what I'm going to be doing by having a dual clinail nerve block next Tuesday. I'm going to be getting ahead of it, because when it's really happening, you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't think, you can't walk, you can't talk. So there are people that my doctor told me actually have not subscriptions, but maintenance programs. So to find better sleep, you've got to find a way to find better pain control. This is not a criticism even of myself, because it's like this. You're punching that way, then you're punching that way, then you're punching over here, Then you're punching over here. Then you're punching over here. Then you're punching over there. Then you're punching over there. You don't know what's going to work until you try, unfortunately. And this is the scariest part of all. Sometimes you have to try remedies even before the problem occurs. I talk about it a lot. Prophylactic things. That's why they call a condom a prophylactic. It's on before you need it. Okay? So, pain management is kind of like duck shooting. You got your gun aimed like this, and the duck flies, you got to go, it goes quack, 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 and you got boom, shoot the duck. Quack, 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 boom, shoot the duck. It's the best they can do. They can't inject every inch of your body with Novocaine. It doesn't work like that. So at night, you basically played out the entire day the best you can. You've played out the evening the best you can. Now, it's time to go, oh, I'm fortunate enough to have an adjustable bed. How about putting your legs up? How about putting your head up? How about trying to get into zero gravity, they call it? So it's weightless. What you're trying to do if you have 5 things wrong with you is take a chip out of one of them. You're not going to solve all 5 at once. Take a chip out of one of them. Take the edge down a little bit. My pains don't go away. It's like this. If you saw a graph, it'd be like this. It's all over the place. So you have to be prepared. You have to have these things by your nightstand. I keep a cooler in the bedroom when I'm not able to go downstairs. When it's bad, Mrs. Stoner puts lunch in, breakfast in, snacks, drinks, ice, everything in it, so I don't have to leave the upstairs and go downstairs. And I spent almost a week up there. I'm praying I don't have to keep doing it. But, here's what you have to think about. You've got to make it through the night so you can get to that next day. Okay? I've been up sometimes at night feeling so miserable, so unhappy that, well, I don't even want to say that about it, okay? But you all know where I'm going with this. So you've got to remember, you're also alone at night. You're alone in bed. Even if you're with a spouse or a significant other, you're in your own head. You're in your own body. What if they're going to work the next day and need to sleep and you're not able to? Well, that happens too. You've got to figure a way to deal with that. Sleep and pain, unfortunately, are not good bedfellows. They don't work well together. So what you've got to do is you've got to be prepared. You've just got to think about it before you're in that bed, because you don't want to get out of that bed once you're in, unless you have to go pee. Cheers. Well, you've all been urging me to clean up my clogs. This card is a little bit clogged. We're not going to worry about it right now. So we're going to make it a single dab of the day. Because what's more important is talking about these things, frankly, than doing the dab. Okay? Sleep is so important to our health. And when we're in pain like this, it doesn't come easy. And by the way, passing out isn't good sleep. So we have to find a way to manage our lives so the nighttime, the sleeping part of our lives, can give us a little energy for the day. We've got to try. And there's going to be a way. You got to keep your chin up and you got to keep trying things. There's no perfect solution. It's not how it works. It wouldn't be this hard if there was a perfect solution. My thoughts are we keep doing what we're doing, try to stay ahead of the pain, and think. Try to use our brains. Try to use our brains to prepare for that horrible situation that comes, the randomness of it, okay? And sleep is an important part of that. We all need our rest. Last thing, I'm not a daytime sleeper, but I might need to be. Napping is important. 20-minute power naps, whatever you can get to try to take the edge off. This is the Real Senior Stoner, hoping that through sleep, through understanding your pain better before bed, you'll get a better night's sleep. Cheers, everybody.